Okay, guys, we get started. Thanks for your patience. Some cool stuff to talk about today for the Dental Nacho Center for Dentists and Teams. Okay, guys, we get started. Thanks for your patience. Some cool stuff to talk about today for the Dental Nacho Center for Dentists and Teams. Okay, guys, we get started. Thanks for your patience. Some cool stuff to talk about today for the Okay, now we'll get a reverberation there. You guys will see me in just a second. So excited to be here today. I'm Dr. Nacho, Paul Goodman, dentalnachos.com. I'm a huge fan of sitcoms from the 1980s, and I'm going to develop sort of a season of 30-minute sitcom episodes, just like Family Ties, Growing Pains, The Wonder Years. If you're 42 years old like me, you remember this time well. This is not a CE course. Before everyone leaves and says, oh, it's not CE, I'm leaving. Dental Nachos Text Connect. We have a real number for Dental Nachos, and we will text you 3 free CE courses. So it's not just, you're not just missing out on 30 minutes of CE. You can get 3 hours of CE by texting Nachos to 267-930-2288. You'll get an implant course by Dr. Louis Chen. Convo, text Convo to all separate. You got to do 3 separate texts. Convo to get a complimentary patient communication CE course. That's by me. And Life, which is an amazing course by Dr. Eric Cornelius and Cheryl Cornelius. They are a fantastic dentist and couple that were hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, moved across the country, bought a practice. They're living the dentisting dream. They also happen to have 8 children along with their dentisting dream. So if you text those words one at a time, 2267-930-2288, you will get these CE courses. You can grab 1, 2, 3, or all of them, or none. They're all free. It's totally up to you guys. So I want to show you guys a presentation here.
How are you?
I'm 41 years old. What do some people call me?
Dr. Nacho.
Dr. Nacho. What's the message of Dental Nachos?
Just be nice.
Just be nice. That's nice. Are you involved with Dental Nachos?
Yes.
Do you think being a dentist is a tough job?
Yes.
What do you think's hard about it?
Working.
Working in a small place?
Yeah.
Now you go to school. What does your teacher teach you about your friends? What makes someone a good friend? Playing nicely?
Playing.
What's one? I have something. It's like, what about if you have something and one of your friends wants it? What do you do?
Break it in half.
That's not a bad idea if it's food. But what if you can't break it in half? What would you do with that?
If I have another one, I will give it to them.
What if you only have one? Would you do what with them? What's the word we use?
Share.
Share, that's nice. I remember last week you forgot your show and tell, and one of your really good friends, what'd they do?
Share one of the show and tell.
And what was the thing they shared?
My pony clip.
Oh, that was nice of her. So it makes you feel good when people share?
Yeah.
Do you think dentists should share more?
No.
Why not?
Because they're working and they can't. No.
But maybe what about, did you ever go to the one of our CE courses and you saw the dentist there? In your pink dress?
No.
You went to one of those. What about when your sister grows up? Will you share stuff with her?
Oh, no.
You won't? Why not?
Oh, no, yes.
You will?
No means yes.
No means yes, it's opposite?
No.
Okay, well, do you have any other final messages for Dental Nachos?
Mm-hmm.
What's your final message?
I'm just no.
But that really means yes? You are a good training to be a dentist. Okay, well, there's a message. Thanks for sharing with Dental Nachos that they should do what? Just be nice? Share with their friends?
No.
To have fun?
No.
Does that mean yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing with us. Thanks for being such a great moderator. We really appreciate the work you do on the groups.
And we're the moderators, and we're matching today. We have Toppings, and dental Nacho, and moderator. Hey, dentist. Here's my dad, Dr. Nacho.
So I'm going to let you guys see me here in a second. It's just me. How you guys doing? I'm doing a nice weekend afternoon. We talk about sitcoms. We sitcom length sharing show about how we can talk to patients, increase that case acceptance with special attention on something that dental school leaves out, how to talk to dentists about money, how to talk to patients about money, how to talk about money as a dentist. But let's start out. You can help me by raising your hand. Maybe you're at home sitting on the couch. I remember watching those shows, Sesame Street, as a kid from late 70s, early 80s, and I would count out loud with them. So just because you're not here with me doesn't mean you can't participate. So help me by raising your hand if you are or went to dental school or work in the dentisting world. If you would like more happiness for you and your team with more productivity. I see people raising their hand on Zoom. That's awesome. So we would all like this. Now keep your hand up. Keep it up, you guys. If this last thing is okay, keep it up. If it is okay, if you work more hours each week. And I know what's happening. Everyone's hands go down. I lecture live and I say, oh man, I thought you loved dentisting. I thought at 4 p.m. on Friday or Thursday, you'd say, darn it, I can't believe it's over. I would stay here through the weekend doing class 2s if only someone helped me do that. Of course not. Dentisting hours are dog years hours. They're difficult, they're stressful, they're intense. Nobody knows unless you are a dentist what it's like or if you're working side by side with dentists. So what can we do in this sitcom length sharing episode to make your life a little bit happier? Because I know it is an emotional roller coaster. Sometimes you feel like when Daphne was younger with this awesome dog. Other times you feel like crying and screaming and jumping, leaving the office, and that's normal. When you get further along in your career, it doesn't get any easier. Some hours are awesome. People want to pay. Your cases are fitting well. Your team is supporting each other. Then the next hour, this happens. Your team is fighting over paper towels. People say things like, I didn't know I'd have to pay today. We just set the expectations of this sitcom length sharing episode. What other business on planet Earth, just think about this for a minute, whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching a recording, whether you're watching this 10 years from now, hopefully we'll make things different by then. What other business on planet Earth do people go in and get a service and they don't think they have to pay that day? Only our dental industry has created this really weird money world because dental school doesn't talk to us about money. And then when you get out there, you try to learn it on the streets, but a lot of times you're in environments and we say, oh, just see what your insurance covers, you can pay later. So there's no other industry like that. And I think we need to do a better job as a community, dental community, to set expectations on how our patients are going to pay. We can be kind about it. We can manage expectations. We can create systems. We're going to talk about that today. But why is money such a big deal in a dental office? Why is it so important to know about money? Well, first of all, these are all private businesses. So if we don't make enough money, we go out of business. And some of you may be saying, I don't care about money. I just go in and try to do a good job. Or maybe you started dentisting in an era where things were a little bit different. Like I started in 2005. Let's look at this insurance gap. So what I track here is the gap between our production and our payments. Now, if you would just stay with me a minute, we have great collection policies. We collect almost 100% of the dollars we bill out. The gap is not about money that people didn't pay us. The gap is about the insurance adjustment, the insurance gap. So in 2005, look at that red line. Look how small it was. It doesn't matter what the X and Y axis are. It's small. As we go along this journey up till 2016 here, up to 2016, the gap is getting much bigger. So what's happening? If you look at that purple production line, in 2010, we produced about the same amount of dollars as we did as 2015, but we collected less because for the first time in history, insurances are paying us less each year. Not only are they not increasing what they pay, they're paying us less, which I call Nacho nuts. And also, since this is sitcom length sharing show, I'll talk about Family Ties, The Wonder Years, and movies. I also love Zoolander. And at the end of that, Will Ferrell says, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. And to me, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills that I'm in a dentist and from when I started till now, some of the fees that we're getting are lower from when I started because the insurance companies are putting pressure on dentists. How are we going to deal with that? I cannot solve it all in a 27-minute sitcom length sharing episode, but maybe I can give you just a couple things that you can do, a couple things that you can say, a couple things that you can share with your team to have a better dentist in life and remanage some of these expectations. Because what's the troubling trends? Insurance is a troubling trend. We all know that coupon. We all love that coupon. You walk in there and say, I need a bunch of trinkets. With that coupon, you don't think you get everything off when you go to Bed Bath & Beyond. You think you're going to spend $100. This is going to save you 20. Then you're going to pay 80. Dental insurance has gotten all twisted around. It shouldn't be called insurance. So we're going to probably do some fun things here. I'm going to bring down my presentation. I'm going to show you different things on this webinar from YouTube clips and other clips I've made, about 60-second sound bites of what you can say when you're talking to a patient about insurance. We don't call it insurance because it's not insurance. Insurance is medical insurance. We had the second moderator in 2018. We went to the hospital. I don't actually even know what it cost. That's not a good thing. They never gave me a bill. Assuming you paid a deductible, but let's say we have a $100,000 medical expense. We pay $3,000. They take care of the rest. Dental insurance maxims haven't changed in decades. But what $1,500 is able to get the patient like 3 crowns. Now it can barely get them 1 crown. So these are all things we have to embrace. This is the reality. It's not doom and gloom. It's not to just cry in your soup, whatever that means, cry in your nachos. What it means is we need to be aware that this is a thing. If you came and visited me in Philadelphia, I'd love for you to do that. And we went to my favorite restaurant, El Vez. And I said, hey, Friday night, you need a reservation 4 weeks in advance to get in there. If you just showed up on Friday and expected a table, they would laugh at you. They would say, okay, it's going to be a 3-hour wait. They wouldn't laugh. They would actually great with service. It's a 3-hour wait. I'm making dentists aware. Hopefully we can all share this awareness. So let's see if for our fun sitcom length sharing, we can just do a quick tip here. Sorry, my face is so big here for a second. Let me just bring this down here a second. And all right, guys, I'm not a Zoom expert. Good. Okay, 1 second. 2 participants raise your hand. Thanks, guys. Let's stop this video for 1 second. I'm going to bring up our own YouTube page. I can share something with you guys. Good. I want to show you guys a clip of how you can talk to patients about insurance. Let's go to these videos. You go to our YouTube page, use any of these videos anytime you would like. Daily Dental Nachos Boost, how to explain insurance. Okay.
Hey, Justin friends, this is Paul, Dr. Nacho, DentalNachos.com. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to talk to your patients about dental insurance in a way they can understand. So if someone comes in and says, what's my dental insurance cover? How does my dental insurance work? I would say, that's a good question. I would want to know that too. Dental insurance is not really insurance. It's a benefit that acts like a coupon. Dental insurance is not really insurance like medical insurance. It's a benefit that acts like a coupon. Additionally, just like airplane miles, there are blackout dates. There are blackout dental procedures that your insurance will not let you apply your coupon to. So that's how dental insurance works. Dental insurance is a benefit that acts like a coupon. Let's see how your coupon works with this treatment plan so we can maximize the benefits of your coupon. If I can help you in any way, just reach out to me at dentalnachos.com. Have a great day, guys.
So that's good enough. Let's listen to that twice. Let's listen to it twice, and maybe you can teach your team you to start saying these things.
Hey, Justin friends, this is Paul, Dr. Nacho, DentalNachos.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to talk to your patients about dental insurance in a way they can understand. So if someone comes in and says, what's my dental insurance cover? How does my dental insurance work? I would say, that's a good question. I would want to know that too. Dental insurance is not really insurance. It's a benefit that acts like a coupon. Dental insurance is not really insurance like medical insurance. It's a benefit that acts like a coupon. Additionally, just like airplane miles, there are blackout dates. There are blackout dental procedures that your insurance will not let you apply your coupon to. So that's how dental insurance works. Dental insurance is a benefit that acts like a coupon. Let's see how your coupon works with this treatment plan.
So that there for you guys, we'll go back to sharing screens here in a second, so I can bring this back up for you. That there is an easy way in 60 seconds for you to manage expectations in your office about dental insurance. So patients don't think it's going to cover everything. Can anybody, if you raise your hand, can you do that in your office? Does that seem like something that would be something you can handle in your office to say dental insurance is a benefit that acts like a coupon? Your coupon has blackout dates. Let's maximize the benefit of your coupon. But when you use coupon over and over and over again, the patient's expectations are managed. It's not the thing that says, hey, this is going to cover everything. So we're going to do 7 helpful nacho toppings here, 7 helpful nacho toppings. What to say when patients ask, what is this going to cost me? So raise your hand if you have patients say to you, what is this going to cost me? Am I going to have to take out a loan? Is this going to be something I'm going to dig into my kid's college account? Who has patients say to them, yeah, what is this going to cost me? And I want you guys are raising your hands, which is great. This is a normal question, okay? It's a normal question. You would ask it too. Patients are worried about cost. You have to get through right now to yourself and say, people don't want dental treatment, okay? They need it, they don't want it. It's like if I said I had $3,000 and I was going to treatment plan your life, if I said half of you are going to go to an all-inclusive vacation in Cancun and half of you are going to get a new furnace, the people with the new furnace would be like, I guess I need it, but that's not a lot of fun. So you need to embrace that patients do not want what we're selling. When they say what to say when patients ask, what is this going to cost me? I'm going to tell you right now, the thing to say is, that's a good question. I would want to know that too. That's a good question. I would want to know that too. Remember that, write it down. Great RTT. The way I teach is got to jot things down from courses, whether you put them on a piece of paper, whether you put them on notes in your iPhone. When patients say, what is this going to cost me? That's a good question. I would want to know that too. It gives your brain a second to think and come up with a good answer. The person that needs changing the most is the dentist. The dentist is you. The 1,000 thing. Okay, what's the 1,000 thing? Who here, raise your hand. If I said, my name is Dr. Nacho and I do crowns in my office and I charge I'm a fee-for-service office and I don't take insurance. I don't take insurance at all. I'm just a fee-for-service dentist. This is hypothetical. This isn't how my real office works. And I said, the crowns in my office are $1,924. Raise your hand if I say my crowns are $1,924. Raise your hand if you feel like that's expensive. Who thinks $1,924 is expensive? If you were getting a crown, you came out and said, man, this is an expensive crown. So let me know, a couple people raising their hand. They think that's expensive. Okay, so a couple people are raising their hand. I think that's expensive. So one of the first things I can encourage you to think about, change your mindset, because there's really no such thing as expensive when it comes to this. Because if I get a crown for you, a tooth that you used every day, and let's just say use it for not 10 years, and you get 10,000 meals out of it, 1,000 meals a year, another great talking point, 1,000 meals a year, you wind up paying 10 cents for those usage every time you have a meal. So it's just because dental school makes us feel so weird about money. Say to a patient, imagine using something every day that helps you survive and eat, and you pay 10 cents a meal. Now, does that sound expensive? It's a totally different thing. So you need to just take wherever you are, whenever you're watching this webinar, live, later, 10 years from now, you say to yourself, I have to remove from my brain, the dentist brain, the thought of expensive or inexpensive. You can say it's an investment. You can definitely be sensitive to people investing money into this, but you have to believe that the stuff we are sharing and selling and creating for patients is valuable. I do. We're going to get to implants a little bit, and I'll start about this. What to say when the prognosis is bad. This is where money comes in the most, because when we talk as dentists, a lot of times we say, I would save that tooth, I'd maintain that tooth, I'd try crown lengthening, and we're forgetting totally about the money. We're thinking about dentists that we have access to free dentistry, but this was a great conversation on a group recently. When you do a procedure that's mad, we're not sure how long it's going to work. No matter what you say to the patient, it's hard for them to believe in that in the moment. They think you're solving that problem. So I do it occasionally. I say, hey, if this only lasts you for 18 months only, and you have to do something new, are you going to be happy you kept the tooth for 18 months or upset you need to do something else? That's how I talk about med prognosis. But patients can become very upset if they spend $1,500 and then 2 years later they're spending $4,000. And if you're in a scenario like that clinically, the money conversation has to come in. And how do you find out what patients think? Just ask them. Coming up here, talking to patients like people is magic. Shaving teeth and implants are both great. Talk to patients like people. Imagine what happened. Be willing to think in a different way. Dental school never talks about money. They didn't show us our lab fees. I had to do this weird thing where I had to walk the patient up at the end of the appointment and pay with them. I'm not sure why I was supposed to be doing that as a third-year dental student, but no one ever sat down with me in first and second year and say, here's how you explain your treatment plan. Here's how you talk about money. Here's how you talk about options. We're going to talk about those things today. And then don't say this and say this, because this is what our patients do when we start talking about money sometimes. They shut down. This is what dentists do. So watch that again. You don't have to say to Daphne, hey, you have to wear a sweatshirt, it's cold outside. She didn't think the sweatshirt matched with what she was wearing, and this was her reaction. So through our sitcom sharing post, we'll have little commercials, and we'll have some prizes. So right now we have a prize. Text SLEEP to 267-930-2288, and you'll get a free course on sleep apnea. We are supposed to be screening for sleep apnea. So maybe you don't want to treat sleep apnea. Maybe you want to make appliances, but the ADA said in 2017, we should be screening. And this course by Dr. David Slobodinsky is awesome. He's my personal friend. He's someone who works with us in our office treating sleep apnea patients. And it's a great course to get started with thinking about it. Grab it. It's complimentary. Show your hygienist. Watch it together. It's only 60 minutes long. Awesome opportunity for you. Now, how do you remember Golden Nachos from a C course? How do you remember? We're doing the C course. You're watching. This is our sharing webinar. I encourage people, write down 5 RTTs from every C course, 5 RTTs. Something I'm going to remember to say or do, and I'm going to commit and make myself accountable. But so now we're going back to talking about money for a minute. Let's look at this patient here. This is a patient who it took me 2 years to kindly annoy her to consider doing implants. You know, maybe she was thinking it's going to be too expensive. It's going to be too much pain. I'm not sure if I want to do it, but this is one of my magic, or not my magic, one of my secrets. I'll bring my face back up. I have unshakable confidence that the thing I am talking about, help to sell to this patient, to share with this patient, helps the patient more than it helps me. A lot of this is your body language. It's you. I'm going to talk about forms, and you can have some forms we have, but it's about changing you and believing. When I talked to this patient about doing an implant overdenture, I knew she was going to love it. I knew it was going to help her more than it helped me. I was totally confident that at the end, this was going to happen. So let's check in with her and see what she thinks of her case. Okay, guys, we're here with Dr. Hahn and Janice, one of our favorite patients. She's got a new implant overdenture. And Janice, can you pop that out for us to take a look at? So these are on the upper. Nice nails, Janice. Good. And can you show us that there? Nice. So it's U-shaped. There's no palate, not like this denture over here. Traditional denture, which we have given Janice as a backup. But the advantages here are that there's no palate, doesn't cover the roof of the mouth, snaps into place, and you can pop it back in first, Janice. Awesome. And what are you going to have for your first meal with your new implant denture? Nachos?
Pizza.
Pizza? Oh, yeah. All right, thanks, Janice. So look at that. It's a nice moment for us and the patient. What is the value of feeling good about yourself? What is that value? Look at that patient. Would it matter if it was 15,000, 20,000, 30,000? If you're in this Zoom webinar, throw into the comments what you think an upper implant overdenture, like Price is Right, another good show from the 80s and 90s. What do you think, start to finish, getting 4 implants, 4 attachments, a U-shaped overdenture, CBC teeth, all that snapped in? What's that going to cost? And if you guys don't know that, you guys should know that, because you're the person talking to the patient about this. So another thing is, you may believe in the treatment and you may think it's awesome, but you have to be confident and train your team to be confident and say, hey, teeth that stay in all the time, using implants, teeth that stay in all the time, the investment in that is going to be $42,000. Teeth that snap in, that you can clean under the sink, the investment in that is going to be $27,000. Now, I want to tell you guys, I kind of made both of those up. They're not exactly our fees, but you can see the confidence. Hey, a denture without implants, remember, dentures are for smiling, not for chewing. You want a denture that suction cups up, that's only held up by the roof of your mouth, gets knocked out of position when you eat. That investment's going to be $2,300. These numbers have to roll out of your mouth, whether it's your mouth or your team's mouth, really both of you guys. I will say in this moment, okay, if you're on the Zoom webinar, you're on watching this, raise your hand. If you talk about money, you're the dentist and you talk about money in your practice, raise your hand. You're the one who says, Crown $1,400, pay $500 a month. Raise your hand if your team talks about money for you. If your team talks, so we all have people raise their hand. Now, are you totally satisfied with your case acceptance in your office? Are you super happy and you just think everything goes well with case acceptance? Because you may not be helping your team the way they need to be helped. To me, it's a process. And for years, I was the one talking about money. I was new in the practice. We didn't have systems for this. So I had no problem talking about the total investment and how they're going to pay for it. At this point, I spent a lot of years and time training people. So I do like it when a team member talks about money. I really do. That's my preference. But if my whole team members, all my team members were on the phone or doing something, I have no problem saying to the patient, here's the total investment. I'm going to bring someone in and tell you how to talk about it. But listen, it's about a $50,000 investment to do fixed teeth. It's about $30,000 for removable teeth. That makes you seem confident when two people are saying the same thing, you and your team. So I get it. Sometimes when someone says, what's a crown cost? I say, someone's going to come tell you about that. But you need to know that answer. And you may be an associate somewhere, or you may be an associate that's going to buy a practice, and that dentist never had anyone really talk about money. So the key is for you to know how to do that as well. So what's this value of feeling good about yourself? And I'll go through quickly a case that maybe some of you have seen in the past, maybe some of you are new. But we saw that patient there, but how about a patient like this? A dentist have a magic wand. We also have a magic wand too. So it can be a two-word thing, a magic wand and a magic wand. Because both of those things mean to me is we want patients to get cool stuff done. We can do it, but how do we get them to do it? It's a multifaceted approach. Explain the clinical, the process, and the money. Let's take a look at some more life-changing nachos. So when we look at a patient like this, we're going to play, let's play prices right here. Maybe someone gave me a couple answers that they haven't. You guys tell me what you think the total investment is for a person to get this done. So this is an upper and lower, top jaw and bottom jaw, snap in, clean under the sink, removable. So when you are explaining things to patients, things can go sideways easily. You talk fast, you might think, oh, it's a fixed implant overdenture. Don't you know what that means? So I say words like, hey, you're going to do this thing. This thing is snap in teeth that come in and out of your mouth that you can clean under the sink. So let's say this person walked in with no teeth, and now we're going to give them upper implants, lower implants, snap in and snap out teeth. So let's take a look here.
Here's one of my favorite patients, Gary. He wants to show you how he takes his teeth in and out. There's a pen trick. All right, Gary.
Use a pen. Never use your finger because it can really hurt yourself with your nail. You just put it underneath.
Pop that out. Can you show us the underside then? So we got the implant overdenture. It's awesome. Great, Gary. Top one, great. No palate on his overdenture. How do you like your teeth?
They work great.
Eat anything you want?
Eat anything I want and just clean them every day and you'll be fine.
Now you can pop them back in for us and we're up to go. All right, awesome.
Like that, and they're all back in.
Thanks so much, Gary. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So part of this first webinar, a first sitcom sharing episode is about me helping you guys change how you think, shift your mindset. Someone give you, what do you think the total investment there? 12 implants, 12 attachments, two snap-in dentures, some associated procedures. Anyone give me some prices right dollars as to what you can throw in the chat session here. So I can confidently say to any person right now, I'll do it to you. Hey, if you would like to look like this patient, if you would like to have those teeth, remember he said he can eat, he snaps them in, don't use your fingers, if you would like to look like that person, and you right now have no teeth, if you would like to look like this person that I have here, I show this video, you're going to invest between $40,000 to $60,000 in your mouth. And it rolls off my mouth. I say it with that type of confidence because there's no sense hiding it. And maybe if I wrote everything out, it'd be $32,000. Happy accident, Bob Ross would say. But you have to get general numbers. As dentists, we think we're so detail oriented. You ever say this to somebody? The probing depth is 3.5 millimeters. That's ridiculous. Who can see between the probe that much? Just don't say that to people. Don't say 3.5. Dentists love these weird exacting numbers that patients don't. So you just say something, hey, if you look like this person, it's going to be an investment of $40,000 to $60,000. We have other people with other types of cases you can look at. One of the things I can share with you right now, a good example or comparison that I use is when you go shopping for cars, you drive to different dealers. You drive to Lexus, Volvo, Honda. A dentist a lot of times is like having all those cars on one lot. We can give you this fancy sports car type of case. We can give you a really great one that's serviceable. We can give you one that's more basic. And when patients totally understand that because they've been shopping for cars before. If you guys have any questions about this, please feel free to drop them in the chat because this is for you guys. I love sharing stuff like that. This is one of my favorite topics. So if you have a question, just go ahead and ask it. Now we have another life-changing case like this. This is a patient who we did over 10 years ago who hadn't seen a dentist in 30 years. And we'll go through some of this quickly, but I just want you to absorb that we changed this person's life with our magic wand. Two different things there. One of the things that I share in all of my lectures is this is everything, especially the new dentist boost camp we do for young dentists. My ability to connect with and motivate people will determine my success in life. Patients are people, your team is people, are people, and believe it or not, dentists are people too. Dental school teaches us to talk to people like weird other dentists. Dental school teaches us to be afraid of the cost. I will tell you guys, I'll bring my face back up. I will bring this person back up here. I have done consults where I've given my menu of treatment options, shown stuff like this, 2 people, okay? Shown stuff like this, 2 people. And some people say, man, that's a life-changing case. I want to be like that. Others say, you sound like a used car salesman. Same me, same menu, same everything. I cannot be responsible for other people's feelings, other people's attitude toward money. I kindly don't care what the patients choose. I just care about me giving the options, and giving the options comes with money. Anyways, any questions they would like to jump in and ask, feel free. So when we go through these cases, we start a tough dialogue, make a menu for this patient. And here in the red is what I want to get across. When you go over a menu, don't give the cost up front. Just say for the next 5 minutes, let's pretend your rich uncle's going to pay for this. They laugh, you have a rich uncle, could he give me some money? Because if you say off right off the bat, fixed implants are 60, removals 40, and dentures are 5, they never forget that. So go through the option, including the time, the money, the heads up on the benefits and challenges. The job of the patient to decide what is best for him at this time in his life or her life. And I don't care in the kindest possible way what the patient chooses. This is a big part of a bigger presentation with menu, but I want to get to the end point here. And any disclaimer of fees or just my fees for my, general fees for my area doesn't mean they're the most expensive or least expensive. I also got a lot of cool companies that help sponsor me, key resources which we'll share in some of these sharing episodes. But when we look at this, what is this worth to you to go from that to this? If this was your mouth, what would you pay? This patient had multiple implants, fixed temporaries. We did use a residency program for treatment, but if someone walked into my office and said, I want to do this case right now, I'd say they're going to invest about $75,000 in their mouth doing that. What's the value of it to the patient? I make the menu, the patient makes the decision. This is what the patient says. And this is what, if I just get this one point across about changing you guys, your teeth are likely fine. You probably don't have rampant periodontal disease. You're not someone who took a 3-decade break from dentistry. So this is what he says about what I and our team approach did for him. I was 28 years old when I did this case. He went from that picture to this picture. This is what he has to say about it. Makes him feel confident, smiling and talking to people. Energized his business and saved his life. His wife said if he didn't cross paths with Paul, we don't think he would be here because he started taking care of himself, blood pressure medication, losing weight, and it totally turns life around. So who cares at that point about the money? You have to realize that these things are more than money. Money's important. It's one of the factors, but if you're weird about the money, the patient's gonna be weird. So I totally believe it's worth $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for someone to turn their life around like this. And that patient will tell you that too. I'm also totally okay if I say that. The person says, that's more than college tuition. I need another option. Then we move on down the list to get the whole menu to choose from. So we're going to move here in a second. Let's just take a 60-second commercial break here. Maybe you guys are late joining. Maybe you just jumped in here. So email to me has become like a letter with a quill pen from the 1800s. So we have a Dental Nachos Text Connect. It's like a real number. You can text us. You can ask us questions. And these sitcom-length sharing episodes from the Dental Nachos Center for dentists and teens that talk really weird are not CE, what we're doing now. But you can get CE as a gift by texting Nachos to this number, Convo to that number, and Life to that number. And you get awesome CE courses that you can watch and share with your team. Do something a little bit better each day, and it will make a lot better dentisting life for you. So this is our short commercial break inside of our first part one of this webinar. In the 1980s, I remember there was always a to be continued part to these things. So we'll have a to be continued part that's actually coming up tomorrow. And we'll talk more about this, but you can grab these webinars, share with your team, and share this with your friends. It's for anyone to have. I want anyone in the dentistry world, teams, dentists, residents, students to have this information. Learn more about implants, patient communication, and realizing your dentistry dreams. So this is my goal when I connect with dentists, Facebook, online, Instagram, in person. It's just to do something to make you a little bit happier each day. And what is the most difficult part of every implant case, if really any case, is getting the patients to say, okay, I will do it. So I know I showed a case there where it says two big picture cases, 3 patients, snap an implant over dentures, fix the implant over dentures. You think, oh, Dr. Nacho, you do all that stuff all the time. My patients can't afford it. My patients aren't going to do that. I will tell you that if you keep at it, they will. If you transform yourself and how you talk about it and your confidence, you will see you get these small wins. It's happened to me. I've done more and more as I become more confident. But let's dial back to the everyday cases. Let's take a system. This might be about an implant. We can apply it to any type of treatment plan, any type of case that you may do in your office, and how you can help create a system to talk to patients about money. So the obstacle to case acceptance, you think it's finances, you think it's time, you think it's the patient not carrying on, but the biggest obstacle to case acceptance is the dentist. Because we imagine giving informed consent for going to get nachos. This is what dentists say. We live our life in the lightning. It's literally our favorite thing. Remember these things, informed consent, heads up. You could trip, a piano could fall on your head, it could snow, lightning could strike you. You may see me there. What is the most likely thing to have happen? So we do not create confidence in our patients when we make informed consent so weird. We need to be honest. We need to share the awareness with them. But our focus on all this negativity derails our case acceptance. So stop focusing on this weird dentist-induced fear and focus on what's most likely to happen. So a lot of our cases come from emergencies. Patients broke a tooth. Patients say they have a little bubble coming up and down their gum. I always love that. Like, is it normal when I have the bubble on my gum? Like, no, that's not normal. Do any of your other teeth do that? So this system I have, the orange sheet, is what we use in our office, where we take our emergency information, new patient information, really interview the patient, get the best data. We say we're going to call them back in 10 minutes if it's an emergency, and then I look through the chart. We're going to be not digital. We're going to be digital one day. I know people hate paper charts, but we don't mind just looking through the chart and saying, hey, this is a case I told the patient the tooth might be fractured. They should schedule our periodontist. Let's bring this person in right away to make sure that I know they have something wrong this weekend. Let's tell this person to wait a little bit with their dentures. I told them to wait 7 days and test it out. And the next day they called our front desk and said, I got to get in. This denture is killing you. So the orange sheet is one of my best systems for case acceptance. And if you would like one of these orange sheets, don't forget our 1,000 Meals a Year script, one of my favorite. You can just email us. You can email supreme@dentalnachos.com, supreme@dentalnachos.com with the subject orange sheet. You also can learn about our 2020 virtual C program that I'm so excited about. Also, if I got you in a texting mode already and you're a texter, you're sitting there watching it on Zoom, you got your phone, you can text also to this number. It will give you the information for the 2020 virtual C program coming up. More case acceptance, more clinical stuff, more leadership and management. You also can email us in drnacho@dentalnachos.com to send you the orange sheet. It's a system that's going to help you with managing your patients' case acceptance, helping patients understand what's going on next in their life. So let's go back to the missing tooth, a missing chewing space. So when you go over the option with the patient, no treatment, RPD, fixed bridge, implant. So I have a whole presentation on this. We'll go through some of the cliff notes. I draw pictures of this. Here's one of the pictures that I draw. Tooth above it falls down, not super eruption. Tooth behind it tips over, not mesial drift. Bone in the area shrinks, not bone atrophy. and other teeth break. So 9 words to millions of dollars. If you use these 9 words, I'm going to send you a card with these 9 words. Fall down, tip over, bone shrinks, other teeth break. You will produce millions of dollars in your career, because I've had people do this. And just by sharing with the patients what happens if you do nothing, and even if you decide to do nothing, we can still be friends, classic Paul Goodman script or Dr. Nacho script, you will get patients to start to understand it's their issue and they want to do something about it. John Course was a great, is a great teacher, great speaker, and I heard him years ago say, always start off what happens if the patient does nothing. So now let's talk about, is that a concern for you? They can do a partial, a bridge, an implant, use patient-friendly terms, titanium root, connector, or the chilling part. Go over that, you reviewed everything in detail, but now let's talk money. So this is a picture of one of my favorite people on earth. Kate is our patient care coordinator, one of my closest friends, I think like a family member, and she helps me talk to patients about money. We've also trained other awesome people in our office. So in our office, if you were getting a consult for a missing chewing space, and I went over all of those options with you, the pros and cons, the heads up, Kate would come in and talk to you about money. What does Kate bring in with her? These are the things, everyone needs tools to do our job. You cannot do a crown prep if you don't have a burr. So Kate needs tools too. So what can Kate use? So first, we just bring in a dentrix treatment plan, just a list of treatment, okay? Implant guide, implant placement, screw retained crown, okay? We'll get into codes in the future. Let's just stick with the broad picture. So one sheet is the list of treatment in the total. The next thing is the magic. The next thing is what all offices should use, and I wish they taught dental students this. A separate form that's colored, ours happens to be yellow, that lists how the patient can pay for it. So you talk to them about the case, they say they want to do the dental implant, even if they want to do a bridge, they want to do a partial, whatever it is. Now Kate comes in with a list of treatment and how the patient can pay for it. So this patient happens to be a super cool guy named Paul Goodman, that's me. And in this case, this is how the script would go. Let's make the patient Bob Block. I helped Kate with the script. She could do it, but I trained her and we helped learn from each other. So she said, hey, Bob Block, Dr. Paul talked with you about a lot of different things. If you have any questions about how any of it works, I'll be glad to get Dr. Paul at the end to answer any more questions. Because Bob Block might be thinking, what's that thing about the sinus lift again? But we now want him to focus on what the investment's going to be, what the cost is going to be. Hey, Bob Block, the total cost for the dental implant and chewing part, the titanium root and chewing part, is $3,900. You have insurance, Bob Block, and we anticipate them contributing $500, but insurance can be really, really difficult to deal with. So if they don't contribute the $500, that's a portion you would have to take care of. But based on what we do, we're anticipating that. We have a little star, and our team does a good job anticipating. So just stay with me, that's $500. That leaves you, Bob Block, with $3,400. So you're walking through this with the form, okay? You're walking through this with the form. First option, Bob Block, if you would like to take care of the entire $3,900 at one time, we'll give you a 6% courtesy, 6% discount, okay? You will save $234, leaving you with a payment of $3,666. Here's the key. Right now we have just this form, which we just have one form, credit card or not credit card. I've eliminated that part of trying to worry about the credit card form. So it's just one prepayment courtesy, and right now we have it at 5%. How does that sound to you? You tell them the total, tell them the prepayment courtesy, highlight what they're going to save, and say, how does that sound to you? Bob Block says, sounds great. Goes to the front desk because he wants that discount, pays, we're done. If that's not a case, if that's not a good option for him, we go to care credit as a way to stretch out the treatment plan, or an office payment plan over the course of treatment, not over eternity. So thirds do one appointment, next thirds do 1 or 2 months later, and thirds do at the end. We keep a credit card on file on that. So this is a streamlined, simple way to get case acceptance, manage expectations, and document what the patient's going to do. We give them 3 choices, not just one choice. Prepayment courtesy, care credit, stretch it out over treatment in the office. If they do care credit or the office payment plan, there's obviously no courtesy. So patients a lot of times like the prepayment courtesy. We'll talk more about this as we go along through these sitcom length sharing episodes, but this is just a great kind of point to end on. If you have any questions about this, you can. I can tell you how you can get the yellow form here. Send us to Dr. Nacho at dentalnachos.com, yellow financial, please. If you want to say something nice about what we talked about, that's great. We'll be glad to share that with you. Dr. Nacho at dentalnachos.com, yellow financial form, please. And you can start using this in your office to start to talk to patients. At least they'll break it down. They'll have a reference point. Anyone who's here watching, do you have any questions on how we would utilize this in our offices or your offices? So this brings us to the end of the first How to Talk to Patients About Money sitcom length sharing episode. My goal is to tell you what we're going to do with these episodes, how we can share with you little ways for you to make big differences in your dental practice, whether it's how you plan a case, whether it's how you work with your team, and one person talks about treatment and another person talks about how to pay for it, whether you are an associate in practice, you might have to do the entire thing yourself. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me for the first sitcom length sharing episode. As we wrap up here, if anyone wants to put any questions in the Zoom chat, if anyone wants to reach out to me at supreme@dentalnachos.com, you can do so. You can text also to 267-930-2288 if you want to learn more about our 2020 virtual CE program. It's going to be fantastic. I'm bringing over instructors from around the country and around the world to talk to you online and deliver live stream CE on your couch. Watch it live, counts as live. If you miss an episode, it stays in the group for the entire year for you to watch and rewatch. You can earn 24 live CE credits. 16 of them are going to be clinical, so it's going to be all the CE that you need to fulfill your year. Still go to face-to-face courses. I love face-to-face courses, but the Dental Nachos Supreme CE is going to be amazing. You're going to hear from all different types of practice owners, people who've been dentists for decades, people who've just bought a practice, female practice owners who are practice owners and they have to go out on maternity leave. How are they going to handle that? You're going to learn about leadership, clinical, practice management, how to make decisions. It's really going to be fantastic. If you need any information on that, email supreme@dentalnachos.com or text salsa 267-930-2288. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for the first sitcom length sharing episode. If you have any questions, just let me know. We're going to keep building on this. So we're going to have a bunch of different episodes on money. We'll talk about times where patients came back and said, Paul, you never told me it was going to cost that. Things that go awry, just like a real sitcom. You have to solve problems, challenges. The first episode is just to set up what we're going to talk about during this season, how we're going to make it fun, how we can help you guys, and what you do every day. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon and check us out at dentalnachos.com for more.